Hey guys, welcome back to my 15th devlog of the series. Today I will be showcasing a piece of development which really adds to the survival aspect of the game. And this is item usage on any entity, item or area around the map. And this includes cooking and fishing. I will also be talking about some minor bug fixes and the foundation of trading between the player and other NPCs. And I also have a bug where I can trade with fish. We previously did have an item usage system which allowed the player to feed themselves and to feed other entities and to also chop down trees using certain tools. I've since then refactored the code to allow the player to actually use items against other items, other entities and around certain areas of the map. The code has been refactored to enable each item to have a list of its own specific actions it can do. For example, apples can be used to feed, eat and cook, but campfires can only be used to cook. So, checking the apple's stats before I cook it, as you can see the hunger is 10 and thirst is 10. If I was to use the apple against the campfire, you can see this placeholder debug box which is showing that the apple is being cooked against the campfire. At the moment the stats already increased to 15, so we don't actually need to wait for the cooking to complete, it automatically updates it, but that's a future development that I will allow for the player to have to wait for the food to cook completely, and a timer, maybe a box or a progress bar to enable the player to visually see how long it will take that apple to cook. I also implemented a situation where apples cannot be overcooked, so no matter how many times I will attempt to cook the apple, still stay up to hunger and thirst to 15 and no more after that. This is to stop items being overcooked and exploited for unlimited hunger and thirst. I will enable the player to be able to burn foods, so for example if I keep overcooking it, the status of the apple will become burnt and essentially it will be rendering it useless, or the effect of the hunger and thirst will be practically nil. Although I didn't get to actually add in fishing like I said I would in the last episode, I have made significant progress to do so and to set up the item action framework for this. So as I was discussing previously, all of that has been refactored and set up to allow for fishing. So as you can see, I've added a new item called fishing rod, which is a type tool, and fishing is one of the actions that can be done using this item. Here is the visual graphic for the fishing rod in the game. I have not implemented any animations for the fishing rod, and this is just placeholder art just so I can see it in game and to use the item. So as you can see, the only action available for the fishing rod is to fish. So if I was to use the fishing rod against the awfully placed collision area, which obviously is a bug that needs to be fixed, you can see I cannot use the fishing rod against a tree. Previously I added in a very quick graphic here as to represent a lake, and as you can see this is the area. If I was to use the fishing rod anywhere else outside of this area, nothing happens, I cannot be using it, but if I was to use it within the area, as you can see I can use the fishing rod on the water spawn. So this is what's happening, this is where the fishing rod will land, and I need to implement the complete fishing action, so that will be done in the future, but this is the very basic framework ready for that to happen. As you can see, I'm holding the axe item, and one of the actions for the axe item, well the only action for the axe item is woodcutting. So if I was to use this against the tree, as you can see the modification, so this is the tree health is reduced by 50 as it takes 2 hits to destroy a tree, and using axe on tree. Let's use it again, there you go, tree disappears as I have used the axe against the tree. If I was to now try and use the axe against the water spawn, I cannot use the axe against the lake. To show the ease of use of the code I have done, I can actually add in fishing for the axe, and if I was to restart the game, as long as I'm holding the axe, I can actually fish using the axe. So all it is a tiny change in my definition file for the items, and I am able to fish using the axe or whatever item I want. One bug fix I did was to do with stackable items in my inventory. So as you can see, I have 5 logs here, each of them exactly the same item, and these are actually stackable, and it will actually show how many items there are within that stack. I can then move the entire of the stack, move them around my inventory, I can move them anywhere I want and replace them, and I can actually continue to stack items on top of each other. I'm yet to implement the functionality to possibly right click and split the stack, so split it in a half or as half as it can if it's an odd number, and then continue moving that around the inventory. Other than working on some animations for fishing, I've also been working on the foundation for trading with NPCs, but I also want to get the balance right before showing anything because I'm still working on the design and how I think things should look. Next time I have a couple of things selected for development. I will currently try to complete the trading with villagers and try to make the design and layout actually workable, and then have something to showcase, as well as implement the item states, in which it should fix quite a few bugs that I discussed earlier in the video. I also actually have a ticket for NPC wandering pauses to make the NPC's wandering and idle states more realistic, let's say. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.